Yes.
Okay, everyone, here we are, we're live. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, Facebook. I'm Andrea from SCANNJ. I'm the program director.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Marybeth Kwapniewski. I'm the program coordinator at SCANNJ. So again, welcome to SCANNJ FYI. We're happy to have Siobhan Connolly with us today talking about how seniors should take control of their finances. So good morning, Siobhan.
Good morning.
Hi, Siobhan.
Great to be here.
Thank you. So first, we'd like to say Siobhan is a board member at SCANNJ, so thank you for your support on our board. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your role at Garden State Trust? Yes, I have my water bottle with me today.
Yes, we're posting everything.
At Garden State Trust Company, we're located in Toms River, but we have 4 locations across the state. I'm a vice president and trust officer. So I'm a relationship manager for all of our clients, whether they're trust clients, special needs trust clients, investment management clients, or IRAs and different types of accounts.
Okay. Now, our topic today is actually how seniors can take control of their finances. But let me first say, Siobhan, I think you would be fair to say that this is not just for seniors. This is everyone needs to take control of their finances.
Sure.
And the information that you share today, I think I'm thinking about this as we were preparing this morning. It's really apropos for everyone who's out there, correct?
Sure. I think, a lot of people have a hard time with trying to sit down and budget and think about their finances because it's a little scary, because the truth can be scary when you start to realize, oh my God, what am I spending my money on? Or in the case of, investment management accounts or things of that nature, sometimes they turn it over to an advisor and say, well, they're the expert on this, and so I'm just going to listen to what they tell me. But honestly, knowledge is power. Education, we always say this about our clients, our best clients are our most educated clients. You can have the most informed discussions with them about their finances, about their financial goals, and how to get there. So education is power. Get out there on the web and do your research.
As long as you're watching what you're reading on the web, right? You want to make sure you're reading quality content. That's important.
Well, that is actually very important. And the idea is to confirm what you find with those people that have that expertise.
So we've said before, if the only doctor you see is Dr. Google, not so good. So if your financial advisor is Mr. Google, same situation. You obviously need to have a trusted resource. And let me just remind everyone, speaking of trusted resources, that's why Siobhan is with us. I will put all of her contact info in the comments on Facebook when this is done, so you don't have to worry about memorizing anything. It'll all be out there for everybody.
Great.
So let's kind of get started, and just for your average person who probably is using the COVID opportunity to reevaluate what's going on in my life. What am I spending my money on? And how do I need to rein in my expenses? There's obviously there's a lot of things you can do, and we can't dive that deeply today, but some very basic things that you might share that people can do. And the first one, even just knowing what your actual current expenses are. So you want to elaborate on that for us, Siobhan?
Sure, and that's looking at your budget, what's coming in and what's going out every month. And for a lot of people, they don't do that. They don't actually sit down and see what they're spending. So the idea is look at all your constant expenses, your health insurance, your prescription drug plans, and if you're carrying any life insurance, whether or not that's necessary at a certain age, justifying the premiums and the expense, and find the most cost-effective plans that actually work for you, and make sure that they're relevant to your current situation. Consult with a trusted information source like we were just talking about, which before you terminate any plans, and you can assess your prescription drug plans and reach out to your local state health insurance assistance program, which kind of helps you navigate, the different plans that are available to you, especially through Medicare. If you are enrolled in Medicare, maybe there are like plans that and programs that allow you to actually put $100 back into your monthly Social Security check to minimize your premiums and copays, and learn about those kind of savings programs. Prescription drugs, make sure that you're on a drug program that works for you. And there is.
No, Siobhan, I'm going to interrupt you because just to go back to Medicare for a second. So, of course, what is it? October is open enrollment for Medicare, which gives everyone on Medicare the option to change their policy if you want to. And the only way you're going to know if your policy is still good for you is if you go to if you go into Medicare, go to their website, or if you talk to a Medicare counselor. Because, you know, we know if you're on Medicare, the plans change every single year.
Right.
Plans, everything changes, and you're really doing yourself a disservice if you don't take a half an hour to review what might be out there. You might find what you're using is still the best for you, but it is definitely in your best interest. Talk about saving money. You could definitely save some money by changing your plan if that's the best way to go.
Or else if you don't have a Medigap plan or an Advantage plan, you know, maybe it's time to add that in.
Right.
So, you know, those are the things that you want to really look at every year. It's not a one and done type of thing.
No,
you want to
never.
Keep going back and seeing what other plans are out there. Maybe there's a different prescription drug, you know, a Medicare D program that might work better for you, or you didn't actually enroll in one and that you really need to do that.
Well, because your health insurance is one area, again, whether you're on Medicare or not, where you can potentially have big savings, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And they do change every year. Even if you're still working, your you know, your plans through work change every year. And so you just want to keep making sure that you're back looking at that. I mean, you can also look your homeowner's insurance. You can go out and, you know, you don't have to stick with whoever you have. You can go out. There's brokers out there that will help you free of charge because they're paid by the insurance company to find the best plan for you with maybe a lower deductible or a lower premium. So those are the things that you can go out and do on a regular basis every year and kind of reevaluate and maybe save yourself some money.
By the way, that's true of your car insurance, guys, too, right? You can change that, you know.
Even if you think about it, even possibly your garbage carrier, they are constantly trying to compete with each other. So, you know, you can go out every year and see if there's a better charge for that and save yourself a couple of dollars.
I think the point here is not to be complacent. You have to be proactive. You know, no one is going to knock on your door and say, hey, we can save you money. I wish, right? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the knock. But yeah, that's an important thing. But let's get to this one point that is really critical for a lot of seniors, and that is the property taxes.
Yes. So there are programs in New Jersey that give property tax relief to seniors. One of those programs is a Senior Freeze Eligibility program, which you can go out and look up more information, but you can also look on New Jersey's website, .gov, for more information on that. But it reimburses eligible New Jersey residents who are senior citizens or disabled persons for property tax increases on their principal residence. And it's an annual $250 deduction. So there are requirements to qualify. There are income requirements as well as age requirements, 65 and over. But you can look into that and get, you know, real estate tax relief. And there's other programs out there as well. And you just have to keep going back and looking and seeing what you're eligible for.
Aren't there also things for veterans, special things for veterans as far as property?
There are. And again, you can go to the Veterans Administration website and find out more about that. And if you qualify for those programs as well.
So constantly reevaluating. That's the real message.
Right.
Well, you need to be, right? You really do need to be.
Yeah, you have to be your best
advocate.
And you really have to be out there. And the truth is that you start with what you are spending money on. You know, really look at that. Keep a diary, and just know what your hard expenses are, that there might be better plans out there for you where you can save some money.
I wonder if during this, crazy time that we're in, if people are finding themselves spending a lot less money. Because, well, I mean, now you can go out to eat kind of, sort of, right? But for a while there, we were pretty much housebound. And I'm wondering if people found themselves really saving for a change.
Yeah, it's an amazing time to be reevaluating when you're not going out and spending that money on your coffee every morning and or going out in the afternoon and getting that latte, and you're kind of housebound. It kind of gives you that really ability to know what you actually need to spend money on and what you can save by eating at home. I mean, those things there seem so simple, but $5 lattes add up.
It's the niceties and the necessities. That's
Right.
the key.
Right. And no one's saying you shouldn't enjoy yourself, but it's just good to look at those things and pay attention to what you're spending your money on.
Well, car insurance too. I know personally we got a couple of small rebate checks because the car's not being driven and things like that are coming back in the door, which is nice.
Yeah, that is.
Car insurance. Yeah, that was a nice little bonus.
Yeah.
For a while, my car never left the parking lot, for a long time. Yeah.
Well, we were going in one person in the office every day. So I was going to work at least once a week, which was nice, or twice a week. It comes out. And as actually a nice break.
Change the scenery. Siobhan, you mentioned earlier about different types of investments and having, I'll call it a trusted advisor.
Right.
Are there different levels of people to work with in terms of managing your finances?
Absolutely. And a lot of times people don't realize the difference. And that's what I mean by assessing, what you're spending your money on. You kind of just sign up for an advisor. You go to either a Fidelity or JP Morgan or to Garden State Trust Company. And there's different levels of advisors. So, there's a broker, there's a registered investment advisor, RIA, that a lot of people see. And then there's a fiduciary. And so your average advisor is a broker. And the broker, believe it or not, is not required to have your best interests at heart. So there's a new rule that actually recently was being implemented, the BI rule, which is best interest rule, which now states that you are supposed to have your client's best interests when you make recommendations. A registered investment advisor is required to have to implement the best interest rule. But a lot of times they're also a broker. So if they're a broker and they have then their company, they're selling their company products, they're also going to, try to sell those to you. The idea is that they still should have your best interest. If you're looking for a fiduciary is required. Our utmost loyalty is to our client, and we are required to have your best interests at heart. And everything that we do, we have to make sure that that is the best interest and for the client. So you can ask those questions when you're speaking to an advisor. What is your designation? Are you a fiduciary? Are you a registered advisor? Or are you just a broker?
I feel like a lot of people, maybe most people, wouldn't even know to ask those questions. So that's really a great piece of info we just gave everyone.
Yeah, and ask about their fees.
Yeah,
and
Sure.
And a lot of times, if you're just doing what we call a model portfolio or a managed portfolio, there are fees associated with that you want to know, both within the different investments in those, as well as the fee that is being charged by the manager. So, be informed.
well, that's the whole thing right there. Now, you have a lot of information on Garden State Trust Company's website to let people know about their finances. You want to just share some of that so people know that they can look there?
Sure. And that's what we were talking about. Knowledge is power. The idea that, like I said, you have to be careful about what type of advisor you have. But I have to say now with most websites for those, whether you have, go visit your investment advisor's website if you have one. There is a wealth of information explaining about how the process of investing, what would work, what are your financial goals. Vanguard, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, they all have wonderful websites, including Garden State Trust Company, where we want you to be informed and understand what it is that you're investing in, or how we manage your investments, whether it's in a model portfolio, which means that we take your investment goals, your age, your ability to assess risk, your ability to process risk or allow for risk, and then we build a portfolio around that. And that's essentially, that's how, portfolios are built. It's the idea that at the heart of it is the client and what the client needs are, their age and what their horizon is. So, when you go out and you look on the websites, find out what exactly is going to be held in these portfolios, and what is a model portfolio, and what would be my model. How would I be looking at growth? Do I want to preserve my income? Do I want to generate more income? Am I not working anymore? Those are the retirement idea of how do you transition from working to retirement, and what does that mean for what are you spending? How do you make sure your money's going to last?
Yes.
Right. And of course, your needs are going to change as you get older and based on your life circumstances. So like health insurance or everything else, this is not a one and done thing. You have to keep reevaluating your situation periodically, right?
Right. And we at Garden State, we at least once a year want to speak to our clients about anything that's new or going on with them, whether they've had health issues that impact their spending and their current money situation, their current financial situation, whether or not they've been divorced, whether or not there's been a death. So these are the things that, need to be constantly reassessed and, then taken into account when their portfolio goes forward. We have investment policy statements that hard code what we're doing so that you can understand what we're doing, and we pass that along to the client. And that's what a good investment advisor should be doing.
So Marybeth, share the information, please, about our upcoming Lunch and Learn.
Yeah, so Siobhan is actually going to be presenting at our October 15th Lunch and Learn, and we're going to dive
virtual lunch.
Virtual, yes, virtual. Thank you. And we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this discussion. And you know what, Andrew, this might actually be a good place if anyone has any questions that they want to have Siobhan address, maybe in the virtual Lunch and Learn, throw it in the comment section of this Facebook Live, and we'll share that with Siobhan. But yes, that will be October 15th from 12:30 to 1:30. And if you go on SCANNJ's website, excuse me, the registration link is there to join us.
Okay, good. Yeah, I like that idea, Marybeth. Yeah, definitely, guys. If you're listening out there and you have any questions, put them right in our comments. We'll make sure that Siobhan gets to them. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, we hadn't talked about estate planning a little bit, and that's another thing that became very important during COVID. People started reevaluating, making sure that they had those things in place. So that might be something more we can delve into at that time. I don't know how much time we have left.
Well, you know what I want to be sure to mention, because we've talked about taking control of your finances for seniors and saving money. And we have had Helen from SCANNJ, who's our benefit enrollment center, and she's our benefit specialist. And so if you want to reach out to Helen, and I'll say the number, but I'm going to put it in the comments. It's 732-587-5870. That's our benefit enrollment center. And that way you can get a free evaluation, and there may be lots of different benefits and entitlements and Medicare savings and things that you would be definitely would want to take advantage of if you could, because always better in your pocket, right? Always. Absolutely. In our pocket. Than that.
And just to give a plug to that, as a board member of SCANNJ, what a wonderful program and what a success that has been in terms of getting money back for seniors for things that they didn't know that they were qualified for. And you guys know what those numbers are, but it's extremely impressive and unbelievable, like how much you were able to get for people.
I want to say at this point, it's over $250,000 that we've been able to bring back to seniors in Monmouth County. That's a, pretty big chunk of money. I mean, the average savings for someone might be around $2,000. And $2,000, if you're, on the lower income spectrum, that is a tremendous savings. Point is, all this was available for you, but a lot of people just don't know. And that's why we encourage you to get a free evaluation, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Okay, I think we will look forward to having you as our guest on our Lunch and Learn. And again, that's a much deeper dive than we could possibly do today. But Siobhan, thanks for being with us.
It was great.
Thank you, Siobhan.
Morning for coffee. It's nice to see you.
And for a board member. Yes, hopefully seeing you in person someday soon. Yes. So remember, if it's important to you, it's important to us. I'm Andrea Tarr, and thanks for watching Scan FYI. We'll see you next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Marybeth.
Bye.